Let's take a trip down memory lane and spill all of the small town tea. I'm your host, KP Parker, and this is Town Gossip. Good morning, cul-de-sac dwellers. This is Town Gossip. I am KP Parker. You are in for such a treat. We are going to the West Coast today. We have an amazing app with a very, very, very funny comedian. He is from San Rafael, California. What do I know about San Rafael? I looked it up on Google's very amazing website, very amazing suite of things. I used their maps specifically for this one. And I realized I've never been to San Rafael, but I have been in the area for a wedding. Took a drive, went all up there. Here's what I'm going to say. I got a bit of a gripe. In California, noise ordinance means all weddings shut down at 10 p.m. Huh? 10 p.m. is goofy town to me. Nothing good happens before 10 p.m. in my mind. Listen, I'm not a club kid. I'm not saying I've got energy for days here. I'm entering a sleepy decade, I'm sure. But I will say 10 p.m. is when I just start having fun at a wedding. The wedding to me before that, I'm snoozing. I'm thinking about divorce rates. So 10 p.m. rolls around. I'm just starting to have fun. I'm just dancing to Mr. Brightside at that point. You can't possibly wheel me away. But in California, that's what they want to do to you. It's not appropriate. It's not good. California, you deserve more. Obviously, there's a lot going on right now, but I think there's always time for a change.org petition. And I would say this is top of the list. Gavin Newsom, I know your ass is staying out till midnight every night. Face like that, ass like that, you're staying out till midnight. So how dare you make your citizens wrap up the happiest days of their lives at 10 p.m. Is the noise that much? Do we not wish to open our windows and hear merriment? And it's not like weddings are on a Tuesday. I think, who are we catering to? We're catering to 60-year-olds, 70-year-olds because they weren't invited to the wedding? I don't like it. I really don't. Also, one more thing about weddings is I think we need to retire the joy that people get when they hear that their wedding dress has pockets. Huh? You have every loved one you've ever known at this event, and you're carrying your own items? Couldn't be me. I can't, when we're seeing these wedding dresses, it's like, look, it's got pockets. What are you carrying? We learned a little bit about San Rafael, but I'm not content. I never am. I need to know way more, and I need to know it from somebody that lived it. The very, 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 very funny, the very amazing Dylan Adler.
Thank you so
Dylan.
much for having me.
Thank you for being here and from
Thank
being
you
where from you're from.
Oh my God. Honored to be from San Rafael, California, and to regale the tales of the crazy ass town I'm from.
It's absolutely bonkers over there, I've heard. I did a little bit of zooming on Google Maps. That's kind of what I've seen. And I'm hearing, I'm seeing, I'm noting, I'm vibing right outside San Francisco.
Right outside San Francisco. You got it right.
I'm really good at this.
Right on the money. It's right on the bay. Like 25 minutes we're outside of San Francisco. So a lot of people who work there like have work in the city, commute home. But yeah, it's like a suburb outside of San Francisco as a part of Marin County.
Okay.
Which is known to be kind of like a very like affluent, you know, very
There's some hoity-toity.
There's some
hoits. Okay.
Very much. But San Rafael in Marin and like especially more north of Marin, it's like a little more racially diverse compared to like some other parts of like southern Marin, like Mill Valley or Sausalito and stuff. That's kind of where I grew up.
Okay. You went to public school?
Yes, I did.
I was
went
about to say normal school.
Yeah,
that's
normal
like kind of
school.
what I think.
Yes.
So you were normal or no?
Absolutely normal. Public, yes, normal school.
Or do I have to be like, there was a charter?
Yeah, charter. There was no performing arts situation.
I say this also, I did go to a performing arts high school, so I'm being, I'm stealing some normal person valor. I was not normal.
I wish I went to a performing arts high school.
It was really quite cute.
Okay.
It was fun.
Okay.
Not to rub it in.
No. Oh my God.
We're all here on the same couch.
At the end of the day, we're on the same couch.
Did it do me good? Here we are.
Yeah, no, it was San Rafael High School is where I went to.
Okay.
And it was like 1,000 kids. And it was like it was public school, and it was like compared to the other schools in the county, it was like pretty racially diverse. It was like 60% Hispanic, then maybe like 30% white, 5% black, 5% Asian.
Great.
But it was like racially diverse in some ways, but I didn't know too many other. There wasn't like, when I went to college, I was like, here are the Asians.
I found them.
Yeah, I found them. Here they are.
And your story comes to us from a time in high school.
Yes.
Okay. I need to know, who were you in high school also? What kind of like group did you run in?
Oh my God. Well, I was completely different. I was very shy and quiet. I really didn't speak in groups.
Yes.
I didn't speak in groups. I was like, very much reserved. I hung out with the theater kids.
Yep.
I hung out with the theater kids,
Yep.
the public high school drama department people. But we would have lunch in the practice room.
Yes.
Of our, like, we had a music practice room and we would have lunch there and we made it stink, with our food, with our curries and, et cetera, et cetera.
And like sort of just like finding deodorant at this time in everyone's
Absolutely.
life.
We're finding the different smells. Yes. Different smells. There's Axe, there's food, there's different
Victoria's Secret body spray was probably
big
back then.
There's different sprays. There's Victoria's sprays.
You had your pick of the litter with sprays back in the day. There was body glitter.
There was body glitter, absolutely.
Bath and Body Works, huge for the community.
Absolutely. For me, because I wasn't quite out yet, so I was just like, I guess it's just Old Spice.
It's just Degree.
I guess it's just Degree.
Just Degree for me.
And, maybe Dove for Men if you're feeling metrosexual. As we remember metrosexual?
Was the term.
That was the term.
Frosted tips, you were metrosexual.
Yeah, metrosexual, which means you're gay acting to get more pussy.
Yes. And it worked.
I guess it worked for some people.
Worked.
It works for straight theater boys.
100%. Eyeliner was rampant in the male community.
Yeah.
I had a locker full of boys' pictures, and many of them were
I lined up. You know what? I remember a girl in my class used to wear this shirt that was all caps.
No.
Being emo is just an excuse for guys to be gay. And I'm like, that is such an unhinged shirt. I'm like, that's your platform?
And to see that and be like, how much is that? I need that
to see that in all caps and be like, I've always believed this.
From this shirt's lips to God's ears.
Exactly.
I need that shirt.
So unhinged.
It's sort of an anti all are welcome here sign on the lawn. It's sort of like instantly being like,
it's like, in this house, if you're emo,
one thing.
You're actually a
I know.
And
one thing and one thing only. And if you touch a makeup near your goddamn face.
Exactly.
Huh. I mean, emo was such a thing.
It was so big. It was so big when I was in. You had to have an opinion on it because it perforated the entire culture.
I was emo adjacent. I was emo light.
Me too.
I liked to think I was like full scene.
Yeah,
because I wore a few black shirts and I'd like to be like I was fully seen. But I had Converse and we would write on them.
Oh, okay.
I do distinctly remember it was like Panic at the Disco, Fall Out Boy lyrics.
Yes,
and then I do remember there was a lot of RARs. RAWR.
Oh my God. I remember the RARs. RARs. Yeah.
Full swoop. RAR.
RARs.
You don't get it unless you get it.
A lot of pictures where you look like, like the kind of like, there's like a little bit of.
Fully off to the side.
There's like some of that.
I miss how easy it was to facially pose in photos. I have a hard time these days because I felt like we went through a few where it was like that.
Yeah.
And then I did think we had Kiss Out.
Yeah, then there was Duck Lips were pretty big for a while in 2015, I'd say.
And now it's time for me to pose and I go, I've lost all my support systems. I've lost my scaffolding.
I feel lost. I don't feel supported.
So now
I feel that. No, I feel lost at times what to do. I kind of just mirror whatever the other person is doing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, peace sign. Oh, peace sign. Yeah, so I just do what they do.
Okay, emo.
Yes.
Is just an excuse.
To be gay.
To be gay.
That's my high school slogan.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're the fighting emos.
Yeah, it's in Latin.
Yeah. Non pluribus.
Dominus Deus immunus Ergeus. But I grew up in the Bay Area, but it wasn't safe to be out really because, I think it was just kind of like a homophobic culture and like
100%.
queerphobic culture for sure. There was a GSA and I was a part of it as an ally.
Me too.
Yes.
Obviously.
I was in it as an ally.
Just because you cared about others.
I cared about others and I'm like, we straights need to fight.
That was
for
85%. You would have like one actual gay kid wearing a tail or something. And then everyone else would be like, and we're straight, but we love the idea.
Exactly. And they're the president. The one out gay person is the president.
And they're like, whatever you say,
whatever
we'll do.
you say, we'll do.
And then it's the English or theater teacher with the little rainbow flag on their door.
My God, 100%. Yes. She was the English teacher and it was in her lunch.
Ours was the health teacher.
Oh, that's great.
She was absolutely a raging lesbian.
Yes. I love that.
Which I love.
Mine, I think, was just an ally woman.
Somebody's got to step up. And it's going to be the English teacher or the theater teacher.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think there was a gay teacher at our school, but he was over it. He was like, I can't help these kids. You'll figure it out when you figure it out. You know, I'm exactly.
Respect me. I don't have to respect you back.
This is for the salary. I don't care about these kids.
There's no amount of money that will help me help you.
Exactly. So there was that.
Yeah.
Because it was like a fairly bigger school, you could find your own crew of people. Like I was definitely in like this theater enclave. There were like fratty boys who ended up at like California State School frats.
Yep.
That was like the pervasive culture of like California State School frat. You know, that was it.
Start them young.
Get them
in that frat culture early.
Absolutely. It's giving Cal Poly Kappa Gamma.
And for those that might not know, like me.
Sorry, that's like a California State school that a lot of people from my high school went to.
We were UConn. It's like, you pick the nearest state school and then you join the nearest frat and then you just kind of line down the line.
100%. 100%.
I was also theater club. I was also, we would do our lunch right outside the band room because the band teacher was like, please don't interrupt me during lunch. We'd just close it in us and we would just sit outside the door.
And you would sit outside the door.
We'd sit outside the door. But also, I mean, I loved being funny. We were all so funny. The like theater kids were so funny. But then it was like nobody else knew that because it was like if anyone talked to us, it was just kind of like, yes, whatever.
I lost my personality when it came to public, but like with just my friends, I'd be so weird and so like, you know, crazy.
Like, I remember laughing until I peed my pants like multiple times. Like I like peed my pants often
me too.
In high school because
my friends were very funny. I had very like silly, funny, humorous friends that were like really good at like impressions and like that they were musical and they were always like kind of the stars of the musical theater. And they honestly, compared to me, they were a little more confident in themselves so they could do that outside of the group. But outside of the group, I was just like,
I don't want to be looked at. I just remember being like, it was like on stage, obviously I want to be looked at.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be weird. I don't want to be thought of as like different.
Me too, yeah.
And now I feel like entering that safety of being funny as an adult, it is like, wait, I think I need to be weirder. I like think I like
you
was
have
so
to turn
long
it up.
Not being weird that now I'm like, wait, I kind of want to be weird.
Oh my God, that's the beautiful thing of comedy. It's like all the repressed stuff.
Now
you
have to go
you amp it up. You have to amp it up.
You have some hometown drama to share, true?
Yes, I do.
Okay, lay it on us.
Oh my God, I'm gonna paint a little picture for you guys. It's 2010.
Yep.
I am in the pep band.
What instrument?
I play the trumpet.
Great.
I'm second trumpet. And for the first time, our football team is really good.
Okay.
You know, in the past, it would just be like, if our team got 1 yard, play, because that's all we were going to get.
This will be the only chance. So get it rolling.
And we were the only school with like an actual pep band. So it's like you have a shitty team, but you have this full band.
Yes.
What for?
We also had a bad football team. And it was everything serves the football team even when it sucks. It was like the cheerleading team is incredible.
Our cheerleaders were incredible.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
The like mascot was incredible.
Yeah,
I mean, what he does, whatever that is.
Yeah.
I loved it. Everything was great. And it was all serving the football team. I was like, I think the football team should be serving us. I think the football team should have to be going to the theater shows because those are really knocking it out of the park.
It should be like in High School Musical during We're Soaring, We're Flying, There's Not a Star in Heaven when they start clapping. You know, the basketball team is like, you can sing and do hoops.
Yeah. And every time we get sort of an emotional moment, which is our 10 yards, they need to be doing sort of their own thing.
Exactly.
Every time a beat, and I'll note
during
it
the
on
11
my
o'clock number, they should absolutely do that. Yeah.
But that's not how things work. But when we open up our school, Dylan.
Exactly.
I can't wait.
Yeah, Montessori.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay,
I'd love
honey.
to.
I want it to be organic and natural like the old times.
Okay. pep band was going
Yes.
on. Great.
So it was the homecoming game, and what we did, it was actually pretty fun because we got on floats. So we were playing music while a truck was moving. It was actually kind of dangerous.
I'm sure they were going 5 miles, right?
5 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Then we got into the music stand and started playing.
Wow.
And very fun. And our football team was really good, and it was exciting. And we were going up against this other high school named Redwood High School.
If you're listening, you fuckers.
You
fucks at Redwood. We'll always remember that you were enemies of Marin County.
And you're the villain in this story. Redwood.
You know what you did, Redwood.
You know what you did. So they were the more affluent public school. And our team was good for once. They weren't used to our team being good. Most of the players on our team were Hispanic or not white.
Yeah.
Through the game, we could hear the football players yelling racist slurs at our football players.
Oh my God.
And telling them horrible things. We were winning. And the crowd at Redwood started chanting USA, USA.
Hello?
I know. It was very 2020. How did you guys vote? It was very, very that. It was very Proud Boy.
Where were you on January 6, 2010? That's
exactly.
the real question.
Where were you January 2010? If you were on their side, I know where you were January 6, 2020.
Redwood. Red.
Oh my
There's
God.
something.
Yes,
There's
100%.
Okay.
Yes. Their slogan was Make America.
Just make America.
Yeah, make America.
Just make it for once.
Make America. As opposed to ours, emo is an excuse to be gay.
Which is liberal in a way. We'll think on it.
Yeah, bulldogs in the front. Being emo is an excuse to be gay. Bulldogs in the back. If you have eyeliner, then you take it in the ass, So there was that going on.
Yeah.
And
Wow,
so
USA.
then our football players were getting mad. And so basically by the end of the game, the pep band was kind of packing up. Our football team rushed their football team and a huge brawl broke out.
My
the
God.
biggest brawl broke. The entire team was involved. I think even the coaches got involved. It was insane. Everyone was screaming oh my God. And even but it was crazy because we were yeah, let's go.
Get him.
The fight was broken up. We had to forfeit the game because our school started the fight. So we conceded over to Redwood. But y'all fucking deserved it.
Also, it's who really started the fight? Because they were chanting.
I know, they were chanting
When you were saying it, I was surely chaperones can shut it down.
Yeah, sure. That's what I was thinking.
Now,
it's there was no interference from that. But
yeah, there's you get a reputation pretty quick. I don't want to say this, but I'm saying it already.
Yeah.
At my college, our Quidditch team was pretty...
And you said it.
And I said that.
Yeah.
Our Quidditch team was pretty known for being really, really rough and would break collarbones and break
you were
noses.
Gonna say our Quidditch team was really racist. And it was so bad playing other teams.
I don't want to say the word mudbloods, but our team would say it a lot. Our team would say mudbloods a lot. And you're not allowed to.
Exactly.
They would say it with
it's
the hard
not allowed.
D. You
can't say mudblood. Don't say it. Absolutely.
Don't say that. Our team was known for being really rough and break noses, break collarbones.
Oh
Can
my
you imagine
God.
going home? You've gotten a medical bill driving you up the goddamn wall for your broken collarbones.
Yeah.
Being Mom, it was a Quidditch injury.
No.
Emerson College got
I
me
would
good.
Jussie Smollett it. I was hate crimed.
Mom, this is going to be easier to say.
I would rather be hate crimed than injured by a Quidditch player.
I do need people to know I didn't play Quidditch. I wasn't on the team. And it's not I did much better things. I was in the a cappella group. So I was busy.
No, that's better.
Were you at all should I get down there and fight?
I was
were you at all they might need
I'm
me?
gonna get my trumpet and whoop their their fucking larkspur asses into shape, you know?
I think they needed you. They could have gone different if you were there.
I could have turned the tides and actually killed someone.
Just shoved the trumpet.
Oh, yeah.
So do you think the team went back in the huddle and was we're all gonna fight? Or was it kind of one guy started running? And
you know what? I think it actually might have been, it seemed quite organized.
When you were they all rushed it.
Because it would have been weird if it just one person did and they're wow. Because it was a repeated thing. They kept saying racist things to the players. No one was doing anything about it. So they were the next thing happens, we're gonna fuck them up.
This is so Gladiator, Game of Thrones. They must have felt really cool. The guy that was like,
Yeah.
brothers,
Yeah,
to arms,
brothers.
tonight, no matter what happens.
You know, and
get
they were
us.
racist to the Irish. Our team was very Irish.
And that's one
They
thing
were
I don't
like-
agree with.
Yeah, they're like, you know what? And us and our potatoes. It's not
Brothers,
right,
please.
brothers.
We need you.
We need you.
But it has to feel cool to be like,
I mean, like,
fuck
our
the game.
school were
There's
like,
something
yes.
bigger at foot.
Yeah, and like even as kids, we knew like something was going on. We're like, yeah, they're
Wow.
being like very racist.
Yeah.
Like when it's like the game is forfeited, everyone was like, boo,
Yeah.
you know.
Did anyone get in trouble? Like suspensions or anything? No.
No, we just like, I think the game was forfeited. Then we were like suspended for the next 3 games, apparently.
Jeez.
It was like a little bit of a bummer. So,
If
you know.
I could have guessed what story you were going to bring in and have it be football drama that you were involved in, I
know,
don't know
like
that I would
me,
have
I know. You would think it's like, and then my theater teacher was like, you're not Dorothy. But no, football drama.
Football
of all
drama.
things.
Dylan, the Redwoods rivalry with the... Wait, what was your mascot?
Bulldogs.
Yes, the Redwoods v. Bulldogs lore goes crazy.
Yeah.
You had entered and it was already like they're your rivals.
Yes. So it was technically our big rivals were Terra Linda,
Mhm.
but Redwood was always like
Me.
across the board when it came to all sports, the most racist. Even when it came to like swimming or like baseball or like whatever sport, we hated Redwood. Basketball too.
Wow. So Terra Linda was like, oh, we like are rivals, but
Because
this
we're in
was
the
we
same
don't
town.
like you.
And like Terra Linda was equally as like racially diverse, but
Yeah.
Redwood is like, we hate you.
Yeah. I feel like my school was so annoying about like decorum. That's, I mean,
Oh,
every
yeah,
school
yeah,
is.
yeah,
High school,
yeah.
it's like we have to teach them decorum.
Yes.
So I'm glad that you guys didn't get on top of the suspension. Like, we have to be the better people. I think your administration was probably like,
I
beat 'em
know.
up, beat 'em up,
Yeah, beat 'em up.
a
You know
little.
what? Do what you have to do.
beat them up
Hey,
if
do
you
what
gotta
you
beat
have
them
to
up.
do. That was the talk of the school for a little. And I was like,
Wow.
and me like suddenly caring. I'm like, yeah, like it's so fucked up that we're like not playing for
Mhm.
3 games when we're finally
Yeah.
good. Like,
You bring it to GSA and you're like, can we take a moment?
I'm like, can we take a moment to like address
This is what's
how?
happening in straight news.
Yeah,
Let me bring
exactly.
it to you guys. You've never been in a fight, have you?
Never been in a fist.
Not-
One crazy person in New York attacked me, so I did have to
Oh.
like swing back.
Yeah.
So that did happen
Yeah.
in 2020. Just like me and my gay twin brother would fight, but it was
yeah.
but it was biting and scratching.
100%.
And like we had really gay fights. One time my brother was like, "You done a star quality." Those are our fights. We
There's
fight
nothing
over
meaner.
nothing meaner.
There's
Nothing can catch. I'd rather get
you
punched in the
hit,
face.
Yeah.
I'd rather get punched in the face than you tell me you don't think I have star
Hit
quality.
Me. Wow. My gay sibling also really late. I got hit a lot.
Oh yeah.
When people are like, yeah, we just like didn't fight. We were a family of 5 and we just sort of never fought. I was like, that's
That's
so
really
much weirder.
I know. I think that's
so
really
much
That's
weirder.
fucked up. Then something else is going on.
You're not
There's
adjusted
a bigger
now.
issue.
You're not adjusted now.
Yeah,
If you didn't
yeah.
get hit, my sister would tackle me into submission. Somehow I'm on the floor.
No, me too.
Yeah.
I would get pinned down
Mhm.
too.
Hit elbow across my neck.
Yeah.
And then would dangle spit for 20 minutes. And then slurp it back
Yeah.
before it hits me. It would hit me.
Yeah.
I'd have spit all over
Yeah.
my face.
One time my brother kissed me to make me mad. I was like,
That's the worst fighting that is like, I know what's going to get you.
I know. It's really going to get you.
And then I had a cousin live with us for a while and he was learning jujitsu. And you can imagine how
Oh my
difficult that
God.
was for the household.
That's very
I was
difficult for
getting
the household.
flipped. Legs up in the air getting flipped.
Oh my
'cause
God.
He needed to practice.
He needed to practice.
And it was, I'm the youngest, so I'm going to be getting flipped across the room.
Oh my God. Nothing good comes of a young boy
No.
learning jujitsu.
You know, he now knows how to defend himself against 8-year-old girls. I was not going to mess with him after.
I took karate for 2 years. And it didn't teach me shit.
Karate for me seems kind of nice because you're like, okay, the boys need to get energy out. As a boy mom, as
No,
a future
true.
boy mom, I feel like they get their energy out, but then also isn't there a bit of like reflection point and discipline? I guess that's what they
100%.
want.
There's discipline, reflection point, learning about the craft, and
It's much like theater.
exactly. Karate isn't like so you whoop, you just
Yes.
fucking you're swinging on them.
Yeah.
It's like their rules. It's like a craft.
Yes.
Yeah,
Karate
yeah,
cousin
yeah.
would have been better for me.
100%. My brother and I would also fight. Like I sometimes whipped out my trumpet and would play at him, so because it was so loud, so he just had to plug his ears.
It's like you go through real like CIA Guantanamo stuff when you're a sibling, where you're just like,
what is the most?
All right, I need to break them today.
Also, we did classical piano from a young age, and we had like our pieces that we could play. When we were fighting, we would like, I would play his piece, and I'd be like, your piece is easy as fuck, bitch. And then he'd be like,
Getting beat up by a twin is very... So there's a lot of questions in my head because I am like, I got beat up because I was little or younger. Yeah. But you had free reign to kind of beat each other up, or no?
Yes.
Did one act as older or no? You were like,
we both bit, we scratched. One time he bit a piece of hair out of my head. He bit hair out of my head. I had his arms locked, and he was like, what could I do to harm him the most? I'm going to bite hair out of his head. And I screamed like... Like,
what were these fights about? They could start for anything.
The stupidest. Like sometimes it was over Mario Kart. Like someone won over in Mario Kart.
But what was weird is like my sibling and I would fight. We would like guns to our head have to say I love you and be like, oh, I love you. Yeah. But also I wanted to be just like them. I wanted to be just like them. I would take all their hand-me-downs. I'd be like, I guess I'll take this shirt.
Oh,
fine.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, what are you listening to? Not that I care. And then I'd be like, I love Led Zeppelin now.
Oh my God.
So I really wanted to be just like them, but also would get beat up.
Yeah. Wow.
I would have to do, because I didn't have physical strength on them. They're 5 years older.
Yeah.
So I would have to do theatrics to make my way across this world.
Yeah.
So I would frequently lie, then say I was getting hit when I wasn't. So I would do these. Ow, Lauren!
Yeah.
Ow, Lauren!
Oh, very younger sibling. Very youngest sibling.
It's all you have. You're in a corner. You have. And then I could make the tears come a little quick, so then I would use that.
So they got in trouble.
All we have in our arsenal is Meisner and Viola Spolin, and we have to use what we're given.
From a young age, you have to get the parents on your side. You have to do what you have to do.
So I would do some of that, but it comes back, and I would get hit. And it'll always catch up to you.
Like how you were talking about, like how you were like, I want to be my older sibling. I'm like, there is no one I'd rather not be than this bitch. I want to look different. I am not this stuck up little rat out bitch. I'm not Max. Don't confuse me with him.
He didn't do theater.
He didn't do theater. He was an oboe player. Played oboe.
Say no more.
Say no more.
I know exactly what that means.
The oboe player and snitch, community, there's overlap. There's overlap. He was the principal oboe player to the San Francisco Youth Symphony Orchestra. So he was very high achieving.
Wow.
Always got good grades and stuff. So that was kind of our relationship. And I was like, I didn't really know my thing quite yet. Yeah. And I was still figuring it out. So
wow. I know our good bud, Monica Lumba, her brother would pull his pants down because his butt was really hairy and rub it on her pillow. And then
my God.
And it's like, that's such a big brother thing.
That's so sibling.
Just, you've really done
That's so sibling.
Yeah. Well, Dylan, we have, if we want to zoom out, we have some hometown drama from other hometowns listeners.
Yes.
Shall we?
Let's listen.
I would love to see what we've got here. Okay. We have a story coming from a listener here, coming from Lawndale, Chicago.
Okay.
You've frequented Chicago?
I've been to Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Haven't been to Chicago. Heard amazing things.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. I'm not going to go in the winter because I've heard.
Hell.
Stay away. Hell on earth.
Yeah.
Let's see if they agree. Hi there. Submission from Chicago. This was a small town turned big news kind of story, but it's too crazy not to share.
Okay.
All right. I grew up in Cicero, a town in Cook County. It's beside a neighborhood called Lawndale. My piano teacher lived in Lawndale, so I spent some time there as a kid.
Okay.
Piano.
Oh, relate.
Already, I'm on the narrator side. Something to know about Lawndale is it's home to the Cook County Jail. Okay, I've actually heard of this.
Okay.
This story happened about 10 years ago. Names have been changed for privacy. Great. David, the father of Brian, an inmate who resided at the Cook County Jail, went in one afternoon for a regular visit. Also, already, this narrator's saying it really beautiful storytelling so far.
I know.
David, the father of Brian, an inmate who resided at the Cook County Jail, went in one afternoon for a visit. Okay. He was given directions by an employee of where he would find the visitation area. I'm guessing there were multiple visitation rooms.
Yeah.
I don't know how long he was in there, but he finally realized he was in the wrong room. When he turned around to buzz himself out of the room, he also realized that this room didn't have a buzzer. He was trapped.
Oh.
I'd love if the rest of this is like, and he had to serve out a sentence. And like, once you're trapped in jail, you can't get out.
You can't get out.
As an escape room lover, though, I'm in. Do you escape room?
I've never done it before.
I'm a real big game head.
I love game.
Perhaps it's dorky, but I really do. I could fuck up an escape room.
I'm like, I personally prefer Disneyland and Six Flags. But if an escape room is there,
love an amusement park.
I'll do it.
He realized this room didn't have a buzzer. He was trapped. When the details came out, they said that the room was about 8 by 8. And of course, because it was a prison cell, it was fully concrete. No bed, no toilet, and no windows. This is turning into...
Oh, yeah. Very scary.
32 hours passed. Oh, my God. He shouted for help, but the guards couldn't hear him from the outside. Eventually, he managed to pick at a sprinkler head, which triggered the fire department to be dispatched. This is wild.
That's insane.
There's no camera in there?
Yeah.
Certainly give better directions next time. Turns out he was stuck in a Supermax security visitation room that's rarely used, so nobody thought to check it. It's pretty insane. Supermax security visitation room. Oh my God, here's what I was going to say. Because I was like, certainly somebody's getting fired or something.
Yeah.
Years later, he was awarded a $600,000 settlement.
Okay.
That's a lot.
That's good.
That's kind of a...
Honestly,
listen, I'm sure it was traumatic.
Sure is traumatic. I would totally do that for $600,000.
$600,000. I'm always on the side of every company should be giving this many settlements.
I know.
I think bleed them dry. Uber Eats truck bumps you.
Yeah.
That leg's broken.
100%.
Get your money. So 32 hours in a Supermax.
Yeah, I agree.
Hit?
Just tapped by like a MTA bus many times.
Wow.
On my bike. It's just the way it is.
And they don't really see, I know they're high up.
Yeah,
so it is
they don't
hard
really
to see.
see.
Bikes, I'm sure. I still think about it sometimes. I can't imagine being stuck in prison, let alone with nobody knowing you're in there. Talk about traumatic. He was apparently handcuffed when he was rescued too. Oh, because maybe they were like, who the hell are you?
Yeah.
I hope he's doing well. Wow.
Oh, shit.
That is a tough spot to get stuck in for 32 hours because they don't let you have any, can't have a Snickers.
That's crazy.
Hungry. 32 hours hungry.
Hungry and water, and then how do you,
no toilet.
relieve yourself and...
Okay, maybe 600's looking right. Obviously, like, you're terrorized for the first 3 hours.
Yeah.
Your, like, heart is pumping.
Yeah.
32, it's like at some point he did get bored. He's like, I'm not stressed anymore. I'm bored.
I'm just like, he's just like continuing to pick at the sprinkler.
That is wild. Smart.
That's so smart.
And then you get your water.
I would be like...
Mouth agape.
Wow. Oh my God.
Thank you for that submission.
That was a very enticing, scary story.
I was not sure where it was going to go with. It was like, we're near the prison.
Me too.
Like, that could be a lot of things.
I know, exactly.
Wow. We have, what we do with these stories is, based on the story, would you like to live there? And this is an interesting one.
Based on the story solely,
yes,
I would say the facilities there need to have windows. So it's not really selling me. And also I can't deal with Chicago winter, so absolutely not. So
pros of Lawndale, Chicago, there's piano, there's arts, an emphasis on the arts.
Yeah.
I'm a person that likes a lot of alone time.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
It seems like you can get a good amount of alone
sometimes
time.
like you need to unplug and you can't unplug unless you're like forced to unplug like that.
People in California would pay hundreds for a phone-free retreat like that.
100%. A no distractions retreat like that.
My friend has been suggesting to me that we do a silent retreat, and she's suggesting it so much that I go, bitch, do you think I talk too much? I think she's been suggesting it a lot where she's like, we should do a silent retreat. I'm like,
yeah.
Why me?
Why me?
Why should I do a silent retreat with you? She's like, shut up. For one time, let's do this retreat. And so you can shut up. I won't do it.
So funny.
I can't. But okay, so that's a pro.
Yes,
you can
that's
unplug, get a little alone time, get away from the nagging wife and kids, which we need,
which we all need. Another pro is it seems like a town that will give you a lot of character and stories that you could share on podcasts. Yes. You have a story if you're in Lawndale.
Do a quick month in Lawndale.
Yeah.
You'll get a story.
You'll get a story, honey. I love that.
So these are all pros.
Yeah, these are pros.
Cons is he was trapped in a jail for 32 hours.
Sure.
Kind of an unavoidable con. That is something that I would prefer to not do if I'm visiting Lawndale.
Me too.
Overall, a final verdict, I'm moving there.
Okay. You know what? To each his own.
Thank you.
I love that.
And Dylan, we have one more thing that I want to know about San Rafael. I'm planning a trip there, let's say.
Okay.
It's my bachelorette.
Yeah.
I'm getting my gals.
Yeah.
We're about to tear the town up. What are you putting in our itinerary? What's your hometown high?
Oh, yes.
And then we'll talk the hometown lows. But hometown highs, what do I have to hit?
You have to go to this place called Soul Food.
Ooh.
SOL Food. And it's the best Puerto Rican food you'll ever have in your life. Oh my God. Every time I go home.
Wow.
I get that food.
Okay.
I love the food there.
My girlies are packing up. We're going to Soul Food. Is there a
Yeah.
nightlife or not quite?
You have to go to San Francisco for any nightlife, but there's also beautiful nature and hikes. I will say, because we're close to the bay, I would swim in the bay.
Yeah.
During the, lockdown when I was with my family, I would just kind of swim in the bay. And there's like beautiful hikes and nature. So I would probably take y'all on a hike to Mount Tam or Muir Woods is there.
Oh, beautiful. And those are the Redwoods.
Those are the
Not
Redwoods.
to bring up the Redwoods.
Let's just call them the woods.
And then hometown lows. You don't need to hit this or avoid this or...
I would fully avoid this place called Extreme Pizza. Sorry to bash a small business, but it's just horrible pizza. Shady stuff always is going down outside the parking lot there.
Yep.
Not the vibe.
Yep.
It's not the vibe. I would definitely avoid that place.
It's kind of always the pizza place. I worked at a pizza shop in my hometown, and it was like, there's so much drugs there. Everyone would always say.
Oh my God, it's always a drug
so much
front.
drugs. And I worked there for 2 years, and I was like, are you guys not thinking I'm cool enough to be seeing it?
Yeah.
Sort of just helping customers
Yes.
here.
Yeah.
What happened
For
to the
real.
drugs?
What happened to the drugs?
What happened to all the drugs I was promised
You're
by
like,
working here?
I do ketamine in therapy. Cool.
I'm 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always the pizza shops that I think have
always
that,
the pizza
have that
shop
rep.
because it's like kind of a thing of like, how is this place in business? It's certainly not the pizza.
Yeah. And I did know that there was probably drugs afoot because we did have something called a mashed potato pizza. And I go, you gotta be on something if I go
Oh my
that.
God.
Okay, San Rafael.
Our high school also started 420.
Really?
Yes. That
Dude,
is one
that's
thing we're
huge.
whenever I tell people, I'm like, my high school started 420, they're like, you're lying. I'm like, I'm not lying.
Wait.
Look it up. In the 70s, San Rafael High School, a group of 6 men called the Waldos smoked at 420 on 420 at the Louis Pasteur statue at our school. And it became a local high school tradition, Bay Area tradition. Then it became
Spread it out.
a whole thing. I don't even smoke weed, but I'm like, 420, that's our high school, you guys. Yeah, I'm
Excuse
cool.
me. Was it kind of like a weedy high school or not really?
100%.
Really? Cali?
Like very
Cali.
very stoner high school. No one at our school in California smoked cigarettes because like it was so drilled in California, like students like, cigarettes will make you die.
Yeah.
You will die. But everyone's doing weed.
I was a middle school teacher for a bit. I don't know if you knew
Oh
this.
my
I was
God.
for 4 years, a middle school teacher. And I had put in my notice because I was sort of shriveling up inside doing this job. Loved it, but I couldn't hack it. Hack it.
Yeah.
And so my notice was already in. I was leaving in 2 weeks at the end of the year. And I had all my little like ducklings of theater kids because I taught theater.
Oh, okay.
So sweet.
Yeah, of course.
I had all my little middle school ducklings follow me to my car to put props in because we were like loading out a show.
Yeah.
And I had forgotten that I had hotboxed the car the night before. Because I was at this time still 21 or 22 or whatever.
Yes, of course.
And opened the door and I was like, it's okay. They're 10. They're not going to know what the smell is. And one kid went, Miss, I know this smell. And I was like, no, you don't. In my head, I was like, I'm guilty.
Yeah.
They didn't snitch. No, because I frequently did tell them snitches get stitches.
That's
that
good.
Was something I would
and my brother snitched on me once. I was supposed to be in jazz band, and my mom actually was cool and called me in sick.
Yeah.
Because I was working on chemistry that I didn't finish.
Yeah.
And my brother was like, yeah, my brother's at home working on his chemistry project, and that's why he's not here, Mr. Castle.
Which
so
also
that's
is
why.
such a low grade snitch.
It's such a low grade snitch.
like the teacher, I'm sure, was like, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And like, that's
no,
okay.
my teacher called me. He was like, you think you're cool, man?
For doing chemistry?
Yeah, for doing chemistry. He's like, get over here immediately. And I texted my brother, you're fucking dead. I'm going to kill you, bitch.
I love an overinflated ego on an arts teacher. I think that's one of the best things you can be.
Oh, 100%. Teachers are obsessed with being like, you have no other classes but mine.
Because when they were kids, they were like, math's my favorite thing in the world.
Exactly.
So every kid must love math.
Exactly.
They need some perspective.
They need some.
And that's why
exactly.
I quit. I needed some perspective. Sorry. Also with the smoking, one more thing I have to know that kind of came to me. I got in trouble senior year. Somebody snitched. My friend's mom snitched to my mom that I was smoking a cigarette on the lawn because we had like a free period where you could sit outside.
Yeah.
Was smoking a cigarette on the lawn. I'm a senior. And my mom does this thing where she pretends she already knows all the facts, so you might as well confess.
Yeah.
She wanted to be like a forensic cop for a while, so she really pulls some of that.
Oh my God.
And so she'll always just be like, you really thought you could get away with it? I'll let you tell me what happened. And you're always like, I don't know what I'm confessing, then she'll get it out of you.
Yeah.
And so she was like, you really did it, didn't you? You smoked. You smoked. And I was like, Mom.
This is cinematic.
Oh, and she would do one eyebrow up. She could hit one of those really hard. I was getting like absolutely yelled at. And I was like, Mom, it was a lollipop.
Oh my God.
It really was. I was sucking a white sticked lollipop.
Oh my God.
My friend Vicky's mom got me in such deep trouble. And I was like,
fucking narc.
And there's nothing that sounds more like a lie than when your mom's saying you smoked for me to be like, it was a lollipop.
It was a lollipop. I know that does.
It was a lollipop.
It was a lollipop. I swear that does sound very much like a lie.
And I tried to be like, Mom, if I was lying, I have to imagine I could come up with something different.
Yes.
But it really was a lollipop. And I was like, is my tongue still red? Please, Mom, please. So the smoking on the lawn, there were kids doing it, which I think made me look guilty. Like it was.
Yeah, probably.
There were cigarette smokers. Because it's the East Coast. I do think California, you're like,
it was different. It was like
East
so
Coast.
drilled into us that it's like tobacco equals death. But weed, they're
East
like.
Coast, you're cold. You need a little something.
Oh, yeah,
tar.
of course.
Just get a little tar.
A little tar. When I
bit.
moved to New York, I was so shocked. I'm like.
They're all still doing it. It's really retro. Yeah, I went to college in Boston too. So so many of those. And then also, do you remember cloves? Only the most leather jacket duster wearing men could hack that.
Of course.
Wow. Okay. San Rafael, I'm going to Soul Food with my gals before I tie the knot.
Yes.
Someday.
Yes. Good.
I hope you all join me there. Dylan's going to be there swimming in the bay.
I'll be there in the bay.
Playing his trumpet. Thank you so much for sharing your hometown drama.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so fun to talk about the tea on San Rafael.
Dylan, where can everyone find you? You're so funny. Let them know.
Oh, yeah. You can follow me on Instagram at Dylan Adler _, on Twitter at Dylan Adler 6, or on TikTok at Dylan Adler 7.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. A handle was taken by some teens in Aspen, Colorado, and that's the truth.
The team is working on it.
The team is working on it. We're going to try to buy them out $600,000 each.
We're talking to David.
Give me the handle.
We're talking to Brian. We're talking to Cook County.
That's right. That's right.
We're going to get them in jail.
Yeah, I'm going to put every single other Dylan Adler away.
Good. Yeah. So you'll have an easy time finding this Dylan, the one not in jail. Thank you so much, Dylan.
Thank you for having me. This was so fun.
Thank you, Town Gossip people listening. Hey everybody, thank you for listening to this episode of Town Gossip. Be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow us on Instagram at Town Gossip Podcast and TikTok at Town Gossip. And if you have any town gossip from your hometown, email us at towngossippodcast@gmail.com for a chance to be featured.